Lots of government agencies have a policy that they're going to remain nonpartisan and not get involved in politics. And many of them, including the blatantly left wing very much partisan organizations, say, no, we're right down, we're straight serious. This is just based on education. NPR, PBS come to mind. Well, it turns out the Smithsonian, who's also supposed to be a nonpartisan entity that gets a lot of government funding, turns out they're not as partisan as nonpartisan as they think. Let's bring our panel back, Sav Says and Bo Robertson. Guys, so this I thought was funny. Bo, we'll start with you here. Lonnie Bunch, the secretary over there at the Smithsonian, it kind of like self-owned himself in an email obtained by the National Review. He was like, "Hey, obviously we're very nonpartisan, but we're going to need to get better at being nonpartisan because some areas was not so nonpartisan." In doing so, kind of implicated himself, saying, "Okay, wait, you just said you're nonpartisan, but you have to get better at that," which means you're aware of yourself being partisan. In fact, does he know? Does he recognize that? Are we going to pull funding from any of these organizations?
Probably not. That's the worst part. Is I love giving my money to people that call me racist and xenophobic, right? And these people come out of the woodwork. I forgot who it was. It was a woman a couple weeks ago. She became president of what was it? PBS. And she said we're not partisan either, while the senator or congressperson called her out, her tweets about how she is obviously racist and unforgiving towards white people, because it was about what was it, the event where she was called out for her anti-white tweets and about blackness, and then says she's not partisan at all. So it's not surprising to me. I'm hoping that Trump pulls the funding, though.
Yeah, if he has the possibility of doing that, I would imagine that any attempts to do that would be met with Judge blocks President Trump doing what Savannah.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know, kind of your thoughts, reactions to this, because I think the biggest thing too is a lot of these NGOs that are again supposed to be nonpartisan outside of the Smithsonian, right? We're finding out too, especially with all the riots, that okay, so some of the money being used by these NGOs to fund, I don't know, pallets of bricks just showing up looks like they're tied to government, non-government organizations that get federal dollars. The whole nonpartisanship thing seems to be pretty much a farce, it seems like.
Yeah, this reminds me of the NPR CEO who was in front of an oversight hearing. And, you had congressmen that were basically holding up NPR articles that were like, what do you think about this article that says, I hate white men are bad, put all white men in jail? And they're like, we don't know where that came from. We're nonpartisan. We don't have any political leanings. It's just hilarious because these same organizations, these media companies that we fund with our dollars and have been used to indoctrinate all American citizens, they're the farthest thing from nonpartisan. And it, I know it, Joe Bob. It's why so many people are calling for Doge cuts, for PBS, for NPR, for various organizations like the one we're mentioning now to be defunded, because U.S. citizens are so tired of our taxpayer dollars being utilized to radicalize people in this country.
Yeah, I can't imagine why people would be upset about that. It seems I don't know. I can't even make a joke here.